Alright guys, back for another day and we are back to talk through some more Championship transfer rumours. First of all, a massive thank you to you guys for all the support you've shown on this series so far. Really do appreciate it with all the comments you leave. Every time it's summer, these are the videos that I most enjoy doing, so big up to you guys for watching them all. We've got plenty to talk through in today's video though. Without any further ado, let's just jump in. Last time's video we spoke about Jayden Bogle and him moving to Leeds United. That deal has since gone through. Leeds had their opening 2 offers rejected for the Sheffield United fullback, but their third offer of $5 million has been accepted and the deal has since gone through. Honestly, I think this one could be a decent deal here for Leeds. Obviously, they are in need of strengthening that right-back department. Last season, it was predominantly Archie Gray who played in that role. Someone like Jayden Bogle has a different sort of skill set to Gray, but thinking of Daniel Farke teams of years gone by, I can't help but think that Bogle will be a real fit into that side, especially at Championship level. Ever since his days at Derby County, I've always quite liked the look of him, and under a manager like Farke, who looks to utilise his fullbacks in an attacking sense, I think that one could be a nice deal. We've seen Watford completing a deal for Udinese centre-half Antonio Tikvic, who joins the club on loan for the season. There's not really much we can say about the Croatian centre-half right now, but he stands at 6'5", has only made 2 senior appearances for Udinese so far. So at 20 years old, still looks like quite a raw talent. Obviously, it's been quite well documented that Wesley Hoed could be on his way out of the club with his strong links to Turkey of late, so a potential replacement there perhaps. But without any further ado, let's jump into some transfer rumours. We'll start out with the J Stansfield news because this story is absolutely mental. I know that Birmingham aren't a Championship club anymore, but we have to discuss Stansfield in today's video as he's also been linked with plenty of Championship clubs during this window as well. Now, a few weeks ago it came out that a few Championship clubs were sniffing around Stansfield, Sunderland among the sides who had made an inquiry about signing the Fulham forward. But it's since transpired that Birmingham are preparing a massive financial package to take him back to St Andrews on a permanent basis. Birmingham could offer around £6 million to tempt Stansfield to St Andrews, and I mean that would represent a League One transfer record. I'm pretty sure Birmingham have already signed 2 players in this transfer window so far who have already broken the League One transfer record. They could be about to do the same with Stansfield here. And it's a very interesting transfer story. He obviously spent last season on loan with Birmingham where he did really well, scored 12 goals, got 2 assists, predominantly was their most viable and threatening attacker. From a purely a career perspective, dropping down to League One at this stage of his career would seem a bit strange after how well he did in the Championship last season, but money talks. Birmingham clearly have a very ambitious project going on in League One right now, and Stansfield clearly enjoyed his time there last season as well, despite the relegation. Now it is interesting because Marco Silva previously has said that Stansfield is in his plans for Fulham in this Premier League season and that he intends to keep him around that squad. He's also under contract with Fulham until 2027, with the Premier League side having the option of an extra year as well. But if Birmingham are prepared to put up some serious money for him, we know there's Championship interest as well. We could see Stansfield being on the move. Blues fans and fans of the Championship, I'd love to get your perspective on this one down below. Nat Phillips is now on the free agent market after his contract at West Brom recently came to an end, and could he be about to drop down to League One level? Reportedly, the former West Brom winger is open to returning to Wycombe Wanderers, the club where he started his career. Turkish side Trabzonspor have reportedly reached an agreement in principle to sign West Brom's Okay Yokuslu. Now we did touch on this rumour a few weeks ago, but it does seem to have developed quite a bit since that point. Yokuslu, who is now into the final year of his contract with West Brom, with the Baggies looking to pick up a little bit of money in this transfer window, does look like a return to Turkey is now on the cards for the 30-year-old midfielder. He started in 43 matches for West Brom in the Championship last season, and replacing him isn't going to be easy. From a financial aspect, I do get it. He's a 30-year-old midfielder who will be one of West Brom's top earners, who is now in the final year of his contract. But in terms of his overall influence in play, how integral he was to that West Brom side making the top 6 last season, players like that at Championship level are tough to replace. And it looks as though Sheffield United will complete a deal for Peterborough's Harrison Burrows. We know the Blades had been heavily linked with the wing-back in recent weeks. A few other Championship sides have been sniffing around as well. My club, Preston North End, a few weeks ago had an offer rejected. but it does seem as if this deal is almost over the line now. Sheffield United will reportedly pay a base fee of around about £3 million, and Peterborough will also receive some pretty juicy add-ons as well if all those clauses are met within his contract. Really like the look of this deal. Burrows was one of the top performers in League One last season, playing that left wing back role for Peterborough, scored 6 goals and got 15 assists, one of the best creative assets in League One. Thinking about Chris Wilder's sides of years gone by, yeah, Burrows ticks a lot of boxes for the Blaze, doesn't he? It's been well documented that Sheffield Wednesday are interested in re-signing Ugbo after how well he did on loan at Hillsborough during the second half of last season, but the Owls have seen their opening offer rejected for the striker. Sure, Sheffield Wednesday will come in with a second bid, but they aren't alone in their interest for the Canadian forward. I've also seen the likes of Stoke City and Birmingham being credited with interest as well. As far as I can tell, it's not clear how much that opening offer from Sheffield Wednesday was worth for Ugbo. Despite the opening bid being rejected, I still think there's a good chance he ends up at Hillsborough ahead of next season. It seems more than likely that Burnley forward Wout Weghorst will be leaving the club on a permanent basis this summer. He does have his admirers in Turkey, amongst other places. It's been reported that while Scott Parker would be keen to welcome Weghorst back into the frame at Burnley ahead of next season, the Dutch forward is keen to start his career elsewhere. And with only 1 year left remaining on his contract, I think most Burnley fans expected that. A few midfielders could be leaving Stoke City this summer, one of them being Lewis Baker. I do think when he's fully fit, is still a tidy player at championship level, but Blackburn Rovers have been credited with interest in the Stoke City man. Now, for Blackburn Rovers up until this point, it's been a pretty slow start to the transfer window, especially compared to the vast majority of other championship clubs who have been getting signings over the line in recent weeks. Baker, I think, could be a tidy pickup from Rovers, albeit it has been suggested that in order to sign him, they would need to raise funds first. Another deal that might be a little bit simpler to complete is Danny Bart, who's also been linked with Rovers right now. He most recently played for Norwich City but is now available as a free agent. In terms of raising funds for Blackburn Rovers, the most likely source seems to be Sammy Smodics, obviously their most valuable asset right now. Plenty of clubs are interested, and most recently Ipswich Town have had a bid rejected for last season's Golden Boot winner. From Blackburn's end, it's thought that Ipswich's offer was below Smodics' value, and whether or not Ipswich come in with another offer for the attacking midfielder, it's yet to be seen. Honestly, I think he'd be a nice fit into that Ipswich side. I think he'd fit into that style of playing under Kieran McKenna. Come the end of the transfer window, I would be very surprised if he was still a Blackburn player, but how much Rovers get for him, we'll have to wait and see. It depends how much of a hard bargain they drive in the end. I think Cardiff have done some decent business during this transfer window so far, and this could be another example of that, with the Welsh club reportedly in talks with Leicester over a move for Casey McAteer. He was obviously in and out of that Leicester side last season, made 13 starts in the Championship and 11 appearances off the bench, scored 6 goals for the Foxes as they went on to win the title. Thought he looked like quite a good player when Leicester came to Deepdale right at the end of the season, scored a goal in that game in fact. With Leicester in the Premier League for next season, you wouldn't expect McAteer to be a regular starter in that side, so a move back to the Championship could suit him. Speaking of Cardiff as well, it looks more than likely that Nat Phillips will be on the move once again this summer. The Liverpool defender obviously spent the second half of last season on loan in the Welsh capital. It's been reported that Liverpool are now ready to cash in on Phillips while they still can. The defender is now into the final year of his contract at Anfield. 27 years old. He's had a few loan moves out to the Championship. I'd expect quite a bit of Championship interest in him. We've also had a bit of an update on Crescencio Summerville as well. Plenty of Premier League and European clubs chasing the Leeds United winger, but West Ham have submitted an initial proposal to Leeds United, as recently confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. There have also been discussions on the players' side as well ahead of a potential move to West Ham, but as of recording, there isn't anything that's concrete or close to over the line or anything like that just yet. Roma are also keeping tabs on the situation, although at this point it does seem like a move somewhere in the Premier League is more likely, although Leeds still probably going to be holding out for 30 million and upwards. Plymouth are reportedly interested in signing Liverpool youngster Jayden Dans on a season-long loan. Obviously made his real breakthrough into that Liverpool first team last season, got a few chances under Jurgen Klopp. I think it would make sense that next stage of his development to be loaned out to the Championship. Obviously Plymouth looking to bolster their forward line. Dans would get the chance chance to develop under someone like Wayne Rooney as well. You can definitely understand why a club like Plymouth would be interested. Very interesting one regarding Ovi Ejaria, who's currently on trial with Oxford United. Now, a few Championship clubs have been linked with the former Reading playmaker, who is now a free agent. If he impresses in pre-season, Oxford could be tempted to hand him a professional deal. Now, the last time Ejaria was playing sort of consistent minutes in the Championship, I mean, we must be going back about 4 or so years now. Injuries haven't been kind to him over these last few years, a few rumblings about potential attitude problems and things like that as well. When fully fit and on it, he used to be one of my favourite players to watch in the Championship, but we've not seen that version of Ejaria for at least 3 or 4 years now. But on a free transfer, a club like Oxford could be willing to take that gamble on him. Signing a new striker is obviously seen as a priority at Sunderland this summer. Last season, it was a real sticking point for them. They tried a few different things, didn't they, with midfielders playing that role. They played a false 9 at a lot of points of last season as well. But Alexandra Mendy is one of the forwards they are being linked to right now. Reportedly, the Black Cats did have their opening offer rejected for the forward of around about 850k, but they're still very much in the race to sign him. He's currently playing in the French second division. He scored 22 goals last season. Interestingly as well, he's 30 years old, so definitely not the regular type of player that Sunderland would go for. But as we've already seen this summer with the signing of Alan Brown, seems like they're prepared to go after a bit more experience this summer. Divin Mumba, who recently left West Ham, another forward the Black Cats have been linked with as well. Well guys, there you have it. That will now wrap it up for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Any other rumours that you've seen going around that we didn't mention in today's video, make sure to get them in the comments down below. Other than that though guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like if you want to enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one.